So Godzilla King of the Monsters is now out, and if you haven't seen it, this is one video you're definitely going to want to skip, as we are about to get into major spoilers with all the Easter eggs and callbacks that existed in Godzilla King of the Monsters. And we're going to begin that list in 3, 2, 1. The Mothra twins. During the movie, it's revealed that character Dr. Eileen Chen has a twin named Dr. Ling Chen. They are third-generation twins, but also third-generation Monarch employees. Working as mythologists, this was a subtle nod to the Mothra twins in the Godzilla series, also referred to as the Fairies, the Cosmos, or the Shobijin, meaning little beauties. In Mothra's trilogy, they are called the Alias. With this revelation, as well as the Mothra egg discovered during the paper-clipping end credit scene, we can expect to see Mothra once more. And speaking of that article depicting the newfound Mothra egg, we also see that the article is written by Steve Martin. Steve Martin was the character portrayed by Raymond Burr in the American version of Godzilla 1954. The late actor would reprise his role as Steve Martin for the American cut of The Return of Godzilla. Another reference to the Godzilla 1954 movie is the Oxygen Destroyer. In the original movie, Godzilla was killed by Dr. Daisuke Serizawa using a device which would destroy oxygen in a certain radius and kill anything within through asphyxiation. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, the device was used and nearly kills Godzilla, but the next reference ties quite well to this one. While 1954's Dr. Serizawa sacrifices himself to kill Godzilla, Godzilla King of the Monsters' Dr. Ishiro Serizawa sacrifices himself to save Godzilla by entering Godzilla's temple and setting off a nuclear bomb which is meant to speed up Godzilla's regeneration process. This bomb was meant to be shot out of a submarine, but the launcher was damaged when the submarine entered a vortex. This could be considered a small reference to Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, where a submarine attempts to recreate Godzilla in the past so that he may kill King Ghidorah in the future. The submarine is destroyed by Godzilla, but the radiation from within the missiles on board still feed Godzilla, and that, combined with a sunken Russian submarine, were enough for Godzilla to mutate and eventually make his return to fight King Ghidorah. Another high-side reference is Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. In that movie, Godzilla is nearly killed by the human-controlled Mechagodzilla. With his last breath, Fire Rodan lays atop Godzilla and gives him what remains of his energy. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, we see something very similar as Mothra lays atop Godzilla before launching herself at Ghidorah, being disintegrated and her energy rained down on Godzilla. With Mothra's energy and Godzilla being jacked up on nuclear power from the explosion of the nuclear bomb in his temple, Godzilla goes into thermal nuclear meltdown. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, this is a reference to Godzilla vs. Destroyer, where Godzilla was a ticking time bomb throughout the movie and would eventually melt down and die in the end. In King of the Monsters, Mothra gives him the power to harness that radiation and help him expulse the energy. This recreates Godzilla's nuclear pulse, a move often used in many Godzilla movies. This time, the move has a bit of a flair, as you can see with each pulse the wings of Mothra as well as hear her roar. Another possible reference to Godzilla vs. Destroyer is when Ghidorah takes Godzilla into the sky and drops him and he crashes back down to the ground. In Godzilla vs. Destroyer, Destroyer lifts Godzilla Jr. and flies him around and then suddenly drops him down back into the city and to his eventual death. Shortly before that excellent sequence with burning Godzilla in Godzilla King of the Monsters, we also get a Final Wars reference. In King of the Monsters, after Godzilla is given the power of Mothra, he still doesn't completely come to yet, and Ghidorah begins to leech the energy from his body. This is a reference to Final Wars, when Kaiser Ghidorah lifts Godzilla and begins to leech the energy from his body in a very similar fashion, even down to the glowing necks. Monster Zero. Throughout most of the movie, Ghidorah is referenced as Monster Zero. This was the designation given to him to keep him secret. Monster Zero is the name given to Ghidorah in the 1965 movie Invasion of Astro Monster by the alien race the Zillions. Once we learn more about Monster Zero in the movie, Dr. Eileen Chen confirms that he is an alien named Ghidorah, and it is explained that he is not of this world. Ghidorah is also found in Antarctica at Monarch Outpost 32. If you double this number, you get 64, which is the Japanese debut for Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. This outpost may also serve as a double reference or just a really close and cool coincidence, but Outpost 31 was the location of the alien monster trapped in ice in John Carpenter's The Thing. Mothra was found in Outpost 61, with that number referencing the debut of Mothra in Japan in 1961. And as you might have guessed, Rodan's outpost is Outpost 56, which is a calling back to Rodan's debut in 1956. We also get new renditions of music from composer Akira Ifukube, quite mainly the Godzilla March and Godzilla main theme. And finally, there are several references to Kong Skull Island, as he is spoken about several times in the movie and is considered one of the Titans. But if you weren't paying attention, you would have missed the return of Houston Brooks. In Kong Skull Island, Brooks was played by actor Corey Hawkins. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, an older Brooks was played by Joe Morton. Did we miss any Easter eggs or references in Godzilla King of the Monsters? Let us know in the comments, as we would love to know which ones we've missed. As far as the end credit scene, we're going to be discussing that in a separate video, so don't worry, we have not forgotten about that. And if you're wondering, hey, what about all that ending sequences during the credits with the article clippings? Well, don't worry, we're going to do a video about that as well. And if you can't wait for that, you can refer back to the live stream we had this past Saturday, where I discussed pretty much each and every clipping. But as I said, we're going to do another separate video discussing those in more detail. We're also going to be doing a Q&A here on the channel. And if you have any questions and you want to get involved in that Q&A, this is the video to leave comments in the comment section. It is going to be a podcast style Q&A session, so it's going to be long enough to answer plenty of questions. And then you can join us this Friday for our live stream here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, please definitely hit the sub button, as we're going to be doing many more Godzilla videos discussing this movie and all the Easter eggs and references within, and also discussing the future. Until next time, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Click here to watch more content. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, make sure you like and share this video. If you want to know when the next video is up, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure to click that subscribe button for regular content.